Welcome to Bryant Wilson Coffee. I'm Bryant. Thank you for tuning in. This video is about water hardness on the Lilith Bianca. I've got in my hand the tank from the Lilith Bianca. I've just plumbed in the machine, and the video you're about to watch is just a very short video. I'm going to be pointing out in the video the inlet pressure from my house water pressure line from my house, and where I want it to be in terms of the machine. Now, just a word about water softeners. The Lilith Bianca ships with the tank here you've seen, but it ships with this water softener device right here, and this is good for about 70 liters. Okay, I don't know how many cups of espresso or Americanos or cappuccinos that is, but about 70 liters of water is what this is effective for. Now, you have to recharge this about every 2 to 3 weeks. You should be recharging this by Hello?
Hey, Mr. Wilson, this is Sean with DoorDash. I'm out front with your that Beyond delivery.
Oh.
Just leave it on the front porch.
Yes, thank you. I'll be right out. I appreciate that. I'm just editing a video. Thank you.
No problem. Yep, take care.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, and I'm back. I had to answer the DoorDash. So as I was saying, where I left off is that you have to recharge this by putting the filter into a glass of salt water for, I believe it's 30 minutes, so that the resins can release the different minerals that they've collected, and that recharges them so they're ready to again soften your water. One thing stood out to me, and that was simply that if I did plumb it, I would have higher pressure going into my pre-infusions. So you can use the pre-infusion on the machine, on the LCC, or you can simply raise the lever halfway and you'll have pre-infusion that way. That means that I would have 2 to 3 bars of pre-infusion if I set my my line pressure at 2 to 3 bars. Now I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, and there's some stuff that's going to be in other videos. But what I'm pointing out is that this video is about the line pressure that you're going to see, or the pressure rather, that you're going to see under your pump pressure on the machine after you plumb it. And you could become alarmed because usually when the machine is turned off, it shows 0 pressure for the steam and 0 pressure for the pump. Well, after you plumb the machine, the pressure shown on the pump pressure gauge is going to be equal to whatever is coming in from your water filtration device. In my case, that's the BWT Best Max with a flex head premium filter. So following recommendations that I, again, found by some other very reputable people online, I was able to determine that the suitable pressure, desirable pressure range is going to be between 2 and 3 bars, no more than 5 bars, one person said, but 2 to 3 bars seems to be adequate pressure. And this is to help the longevity of your pump. The higher pressures can harm the longevity of your pump. It's just that simple. Now, we don't need to go into a lot of engineering, and I'm sure there are people out there that are watching that are engineers and all of this, that, and the other. But putting all of that aside, it's just as simple as higher pressures are going to wear out your pump faster. So for the longevity of your pump, stick to the industry recommendations of what the people that know are talking about. So I set it at just below 2 bars on the system side, on the regulator side. And what happened is that the pump, as you're going to see in the video, after I turn the machine on and turn it off, the pump pressure stayed right around 4 bars. Well, I finally got that to level itself out. And so now it's been operating for the most of the day now at 2 to 3 bars, or I'm sorry, at 3 bars pump pressure after I turn it on and after I turn it off. One thing that I turned down the pressure on the pump from 10 bars, I turned it down to I believe I'm at 8 bars, 9 or 8 bars. I forgot now what it's at. But I turned it down from that 10 bars. And it's very simple, because when you go to plumb your machine in, or even when you get your machine in, you're just attaching the tank here, where you put the hose, the inlet where the hose goes on the machine, right next to it is a lock nut and an adjustment nut. The adjustment nut is brass, and the lock nut is some kind of black. I don't know if it's plastic or if it's metal. I don't know, but it's black. So you just loosen that lock nut, and then you adjust with the brass nut clockwise or anti-clockwise to increase or lower the pump pressure. You do this with a blind filter basket in the group head, with the machine on and the pump turned on. I babbled on. We're going to get into the video now. Okay, welcome to Bryant Wilson Coffee. I'm Bryant. You can't see me right now because I'm behind the camera, but I have something really important that I want to show you on the Elite Bianca. But this is good for any plumbed espresso dual boiler machine. This is good for any dual boiler espresso machine that's been plumbed in. What I'm going to show you is that the pressure gauge for the pump pressure, if you see, it's normally, and there's kind of some sunlight coming through, so you might not be able to get a good picture. I'll shade it right there for you. It's normally at 0 when the machine is not, it's not working, when the pump's not working. But once you plumb it in, you'll notice that it is no longer at 0, and right now it's at about 3 bars. And this is very important. You don't want your pump pressure to go too high. Most machine manufacturers are going to say something between 2 and 5 bars. I believe that the normal range is for this machine is 2 to 3 bars. But I wanted to point that out. I spent quite a bit of time last night plumbing the machine in. I'm going to do some shorts on that. I didn't do a full video because it's just too long of a process. If you're thinking about plumbing in your espresso machine and you are not technically adept to doing this type of plumbing work, then I suggest that you get the assistance of a professional installer. However, if you are very handy, there's nothing preventing you from being able to do it, especially on a machine like the Elite Bianca that is just a breeze to be able to plumb it in. So I'm going to go through my normal process right now, which is release some steam, make sure the steam wand is clean and clear, the nozzle is clean and clear, and make sure that the boiler is functioning with the right steam pressure, what's indicated. I'll let off a little water. Make sure that has no obstructions in it. And then usually I like to run some water through the group head. Now this is nice and clean. It's very hot. Machine's been on for about, let me look at the clock here. Machine's been on for an hour. So it's nice and warm. I'll pull some Panamanian geisha beans, which you probably can't see too clearly right now. Let me see if I can focus that in. Okay. Anyway, that's a really good bean right there. There's a sunlight is not cooperating with me. Okay, I think you can see that. It's a really nice bean. Okay, so that was the purpose of my video right now, is just to point out that if you do plumb the machine in, or if you have it plumbed in professionally, maybe it's just somebody that you know that's a plumber. They come over, they help you out by plumbing it in, and then you look at your pressure gauge, and your pressure gauge is not at zero. Don't be alarmed that it's not at zero. You want your pressure gauge to always read something not at zero when it's plumbed in, because if it's at zero and it's been plumbed in, that means that there's no water pressure in the line going up to the pump. And that's telling you either you've got a leak somewhere, a valve is turned off, or something is not set up properly. Okay, so I'm Bryant. This is Bryant Wilson Coffee. That's my tip for the day.